Welcome, RC enthusiasts. This is Brian here, and RC Crawler Mods. And today I wanted to talk to you about something that I've been meaning to talk to you for a long time. And that is how I have made the Gen 7 into a much better crawler. And I think personally it'll look a lot better. One of them, of course, is putting on the Power Wagon, 1955 Power Wagon body from Proline, which is great solid body. I love it. One of the things that I did immediately with this is I put on portal axles. These are from REDCAT. They're only about $85 in various places, some places $90, and big difference. First of all, two things they do is they definitely raise up the center area underneath the differentials so they can climb over things a lot easier. With that, what that also does is that raises the whole chassis as well as the body, so you have an increased center of gravity, or a higher center of gravity per se. And that actually caused a lot more problems than I had anticipated. A lot of rolling over down the hill, which once you paint your body like I did, and you sort of cringe at it even though you paint it from the inside. This body, I made a few other little changes to it. I don't know if you can see it, but I also have some photos. I did some painting inside there to make it look like real wood. And of course the edges here to make it look like it was real metal. A lot of fun to do. I would recommend it if you've never tried it before to go ahead and do it and try it. It was a lot of fun. Now again, one of the things I said with the changing of the regular straight axles to the portal axles is it raises the center of gravity. And what I finally opted to do was I took the original stock shocks off and I put on some metal. First of all, the stock ones are plastic. I put on some metal shocks that are shorter. And as you can see, also shown in the picture, it's quite a bit shorter, actually, than the shocks that I chose. Good spring rate in these shocks, and of course, you know me, I changed the oil. I usually use, believe it or not, 80 weight gear oil, and that gives a lot of shock dampening. And as you can see from the current videos, what happens is it really is smooth and it's not bouncy, and it gives her a wonderful ride, I think, anyway. The Gen 7 is great the way it is, and one of the things I really do like about it is that you can adjust the length of the arms from the front wheel to the back wheel. You can actually change the wheelbase to shorter or longer. One of the things that I did not like about the Gen 7 is it doesn't turn very well. It has a pretty wide turning radius. So a couple of things that I did with that is, with shortening the shocks, what that does is that allows the steering arm from the servo to be closer, so you don't get as much bump steer as you would normally do. Now, yes, the portals come with a panhard bar, but I opted to take the panhard bar off. A lot of panhard bars are not positioned properly, and I had a problem with it. It would go great on one side going up in suspension, but the other side was very stiff. So I opted to go ahead and take them off. The one thing that I also noticed is that the connecting arms, they come with the original Gen 7 as well as the ones that come with the portal axles, curve slightly but not enough on both ends, and it was hitting the chassis, which, as you can imagine, is not very good. So I opted, and it's really not that difficult to do, I opted to do a double bend on the frame arms. And that is basically the original bend here, and I just elongated the bend there, and on both the front and the back, and that really helped a lot. One of the things I've noticed with a lot of models today is they have the shocks going vertical, and I've mentioned this before, sorry about that. And what I did is I angled them. When you angle your shocks, it gives a better ride, first of all, and a lot more articulation in the wheels themselves. So I really enjoyed doing that. Other than that, With this particular model, I did move in both the front bumper and the back bumper and made it fit well to the body itself. And let's see here, go back on, there we go. Didn't have to do much to the body actually, in way of cutting. Like I've seen some people cut really deep things in there. You can actually raise the body enough, just enough so that it might touch ever so slightly, but not enough in the body to really cause any real upset to the travel or for the wheel function. But one of the things that I also did, I tried anyway, was on the stock wheels. And you'll see a picture of how I did that. I bought some regular car wheel weights that have a beautiful peel-off stick on, and literally just wrapped it around on the inside rim and gave the wheels a lot more weight. Now these are the stock tires, and at first I thought they were absolutely awesome, but I almost think they're too soft. Yes, you can change the foams out, and that would probably give it a little bit better, actually a little bit better grip. They were literally moving off to the side like that, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be working very well. So I'm not that pleased with the wheel weights also, because it felt like the truck was working too hard because the wheels were too heavy actually. So what I did, because I wanted to be able to also raise it up a little bit more, but I didn't want to go too far, so the wheels that are on the stock are a little bit smaller than these Duratrax, and I opted for the Duratrax Snowdowns. These are really, I think, really cool looking tires for this machine. They're actually quite wide, and they're wider than the stock, and they also are a little bit taller. And they're a little harder, but I am really, really pleased. I did, with these particular Duratrax, I didn't use the plastic rims. These are beadlock rims that are steel, very inexpensive. And again, there'll be a lot of descriptions down below. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. That will show what this Gen 7 can do now that I've done a little bit of work to it. I'm sure by keeping the stock body on it, you would be fine. But I really like this body, and a lot of the other bodies out there are really good too. But lowering it after you put the portal axles on, lowering the whole rig really helped a lot. So I don't get as much rollover. It tracks just as well. It goes over rocks just as well as it did before. I always thought, well, the higher the better, but that's not necessarily the case. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and I hope you enjoy the videos. What I did want to say was that next week, or within the next couple of weeks, let's put it that way, I picked up one of these Axial SC X24s, and so far, just opening it up and looking at it, I'm really impressed with it. And of course it's pretty bouncy. You can even see it there with the shocks, because they're just springs. So of course I'm going to put shocks on it at some point. Hopefully those shocks will come in within the next couple of weeks, and we will do a video about the Axial SC24. And I opted to go with the green one, which I really like. That, I believe, is about it. I will say one thing about the Gen 7. The controller, I really like a lot. It's pretty much the same thing. Usually, you could probably put a different ESC on here if you want to. It's very picky when you go in reverse. But utilizing the gears that came with the portal axle makes it a little higher than stock. If you just take and use the stock motor gears and put the portal axles in, you get excellent crawling ability, but hardly any speed at all. So what they did with this particular REDCAT portal axle system is they gave you some higher gear ratios with a slipper clutch assembly. I've been playing around with the slipper clutch assembly. I pretty much kept it almost solid right now because I don't really do full throttle work much on any of these. But these portal axles actually glide much, much nicer than the stock ones. The stock ones that I have, at least on this one, had a little kind of like tightness and glitch to them that I wasn't happy about. But other than that, I will talk to you later, and please subscribe and I will talk to you hopefully real soon and give any comments. And I would like to know what any one of you think about putting wheel weights inside the wheels. What you have found. I have found it not to really be that advantageous, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. So, on that note, have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, or wherever you are, and take care. Bye-bye.